Okay, this is a very full lesson. I understand that. We have made it to our last lesson. We're going to convert between degrees and radians. This actually might be your favorite video, the whole lesson. You have to let me know what you think. So here are radian measures of angles. Let's just fill in what their equivalent angles are in degrees. And if we think about, we kind of did this a little bit. Let's just sketch it out maybe as we go along. A 0-degree angle in radians is also 0 in degrees. If we go one full rotation around, that's 360 degrees. That is the same thing as 2 pi. So 2 pi and 360 are the same angle, just in different units, 360 degrees. If we go half of that, half of 360 is 180, half of 2 pi is pi. So pi and 180 are the same angle measure, just with different units. Now, pi over 2, if we take that pi and we divide it in half, we get this angle right here. So pi over 2 is the same thing as our 90-degree angle. So those angles are the same, just different units. This next one, 3 pi over 2, well, what is pi being divided into? Pi is being divided into 2's, and we want 3 of those. So if pi is divided into 2, that's this angle right here. We need 3 of those, so 1, 2, 3. 3 pi over 2 is down here. And that is our 270-degree angle. So what we know is that 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. So we like to manipulate things in math. Let's work with this statement. If we divide both sides by 2, then pi radians is equal to 180. Well, now, if we divide both sides by pi, we're left with 1 radian is equal to 180 over pi. So we are going to use this 180 over pi, or that's going to connect to what we're going to do next. So let's just put a note in here. To convert between radians and degrees, sometimes we just know, like we know pi is 180. You're going to get familiar with these common ones. But if it's not common and you have to convert yourself, so to convert between radians and degrees, we multiply by 180 over pi or pi over 180. That's how we convert. That's our conversion that we use. And that comes from this idea up here. So let's put it to practice. We're going to take 2 angle measures. We're going to convert to the other one. So something to note, if your angle measure has a pi in it, that's a radian measure. All radian measures have a pi in it. And that pi is always in the numerator of any fraction. So if we're going to take pi over 7 radians, and we want to convert that into degrees, should we multiply by 180 over pi or pi over 180? So we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. And the reason why, or what helps keep that straight, is we need to cancel out the pi's. So if I have a pi in the numerator, as it always is in radian measure, I have to multiply by the conversion that has pi in the denominator so that we can just cancel our pi's. Multiply anything that's left. We have 180 divided by 7, and we divide that out. That's about equal to 25.7 degrees. So when you're converting, you need to think about, do I need to cancel the pi or do I need a pi in my answer? So if we have our next example, 75 degrees, we need to convert that into radians. So we want the pi in our answer. And in radians, is pi always in the numerator or the denominator? Pi will always be in the numerator of a radian measure. So we're going to multiply by the conversion that has pi in the numerator. So let's put that 75 over 1 times pi over 180. 75 times pi is 75 pi over 180. So now we have pi in the numerator. Had we multiplied by the wrong conversion, we'd have a pi in the denominator. And we just have to remember that's not where pi is going to be in radian measure. Can we reduce this? 75 and 180, you can divide those both by 15. When you divide by 15, you get 5 pi on top. 180 divided by 15 is 12, and then this is in radians. So 75 degrees is the same thing as 5 pi over 12 in radians. Those would be the same angle measure. Pi over 7 in radians is the same thing as 25.7 degrees.